In the year before my Fulbright Award, I was fortunate enough to get a small travel grant to go to the US, and I met with some academics there. I was very impressed by the standard of teaching in the US universities and the opportunities available to students. So I decided that I'd like to go back and return to the US, and Fulbright was an extremely prestigious scholarship and was top of my list. And I applied for it to enable me to go to the US, but also to allow me to be involved with the alumni associations and get the benefits of being a Fulbright scholar.
I feel that the higher education system in the United States is the best in the world, and the good schools there are just fabulous. They're well resourced, they're well equipped, they've got a fantastic environment of music making, academic excellence, and on all levels.
Coming from Australia, which is a relatively small country, even though it has wonderful universities, places like UCLA are the pinnacles of academic achievement. So you get to mix with remarkable people, and it's a fantastic intellectual environment. So on the professional level, it's fantastic intellectually.
Well, I've had my postgrad experience was in Europe, and I've got lots of contacts in the UK and in Germany particularly. So for me it was kind of an extra challenge or a gap in my experience, I suppose, and knowing the fantastic standard of all the education all institutions and possibilities in the US, something I wanted to do and experience their system. And so it was a great opportunity to get to have the scholarship.
It was just a fascinating place to be, and I was based in Washington DC, as I said before, and it was a very dynamic place for what I was studying. Whereas, obviously I'm from Brisbane, and there aren't a lot of people talking about nuclear non-proliferation in Brisbane on a regular basis, only when it's really heavily in the news overseas. But in Washington it was a topic of great concern, and there were a lot of people studying and talking about it and really exploring it in depth in different ways. And because I'm an historian and not an international relations expert, I think that that perspective was adding something new to my topic, and so that's why I found it really enriching. So obviously I went to the United States because it was, that was the place to be for my particular topic.
I applied for a Fulbright for a number of reasons. First, the Fulbright program had a lot more flexibility than some of the other scholarships that were available. In fact, I was lucky I got a scholarship to go to Oxford as well as receiving a Fulbright. So I had a choice of going to Oxford on a scholarship or going to Harvard on a Fulbright scholarship. And the Fulbright was clearly what I chose to do. One reason for that was because I was interested in intellectual property protection in relation to technology. America was at the forefront. America was looking to the future, whereas England, which was a common place for people to go to study law, was often looking at the past or looking at very traditional aspects of the law, where I was more interested in looking at the cutting edge.
I found the Americans I met very, very warm, very ready to say, oh, come to our house for Christmas, come to our house for Thanksgiving.
Being in the United States, a country that I'd lived in Asia a lot, I'd visited Europe a great deal, but the United States really had only been stopovers or visits with conferences, and this was really so different. And I'd was taken aback by their hospitality and friendly receptions, really.